It's like deja vu. I see it all the time. Yeah.
Bel-Air, Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale, Don't Look Back. Viv and Phil discuss what they can do for Doc in order to ensure that Will can continue playing basketball. Meanwhile, Will is at the court talking mad shit to people he's playing. Jazz is trying to talk some sense into the boy, and he don't want to listen to anything he's talking about.
Oh my boy, fuck him. Damn. Why is fuck me for?
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
Carlton pulls up on his locker and hits the morning line of coke. Miss Basson is looking to set up a meeting with Carlton and a Princeton recruiter because he's finishing his junior year strong. However, I can almost ensure Carlton will do something to fuck it up, which he does.
It just feels like you just felt it in the air. Like, boy, he about to fuck this shit up. He about to fuck it up. And did he wait for the absolute last minute to do it.
If I remember, also, Carlton had a similar meeting with someone from Princeton, and Will showed him up, and then for some reason, Carlton went to community college, so...
I hope not. No, that's not where we're going.
That's what he did in the
That's not where
original.
we're going.
He ran that store in the community college with Will, remember?
Yeah, ULA.
So, I don't know. We'll see. Will is on the beach and Lisa pulls up beside of him. Apparently, Will sent her a message since he kicked his girlfriend back to the streets. After giving him solid advice, Will thanks Lisa for showing up and then asks if being friends is best for them, to which she responds, she does. Bruh, chill out with this 1 foot in bullshit.
Hey man. Teenage love.
I guess.
That's the only way that I can digest it. Otherwise, it's complete nonsense.
It is. LaMarcus Alton is speaking French over dinner to Coco Jones and even offering to take the girl overseas. This man is not letting up. She thinks she would be mad busy, but he poses it to her as a break. So,
I mean, go ahead, take your little flight, take your trip. I know where you ending up. You can play the fuck out of crazy, but you can't play me. I know where you going, baby. I got this story already. I know where you going. And if you keep playing around with LaMarcus, something tragic gonna end up happening to that man, so you need to cut him loose.
Will you marry me? Black looking boy.
Cut him loose.
Phil has Erica show up to announce that he is starting Philip Banks and Associates. She is rightfully confused as he goes on to detail that James will be running the old firm and Phil will be co-counsel for the Garrison account under his new firm. Bro has leveraged being black in favor of Carson and Lake, using him to house some of the minority accounts they have, and Erica is shook.
First of all, your boy called every last bit of that. Golly. Woo! Why y'all never come back when I'm right? Y'all always be trying to tell me I'm wrong, and I don't be, you don't predict that, Marcus, you gonna be wrong. Why y'all never come back when I'm right? Called that shit last week.
He got out of
it. But, oh, girl is bugging. She is scandalous. You was just in her house. You low down skeezer. And then Phil, I don't know what Phil got going on at the moment. He acted totally different. I don't know what he got going on.
Janice pulled up on Viv because there's a gallery that wants to feature 5 of her pieces in their latest exhibition. Turns out that homegirl knows that the Neiman Foundation wants to replace her with Viv as executive director. Viv finally lets her know what's going down, and Janice says that she ain't letting go of that position without a fight, which, okay, Grandma.
She says, you want to fight? What's up?
Okay, Grandma, I feel you.
I said, battle of the Vivs.
You know? I ain't mad
Battle
at it.
of the Vivs.
It's the first time she's shown any sort of aggression between either of the two series, so...
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for that to turn out well, so...
Yeah, that's a fact. Will and Lisa show up to school, and Will and Drew mug each other. Drew goes to ask Lisa about it and makes it clear that he wants a little honesty. Lisa instead brings up the locker room video and says, and I quote, "How's that for some honesty, bitch-ass nigga?"
She didn't say that.
She said it.
She didn't say that.
She basically said it.
Wish she would have, but she didn't.
Will's homeboy from the team, Ty, shows up to let Will know that they're making it to the semis, which lets me know that, fam, all this bullshit and you could have just stayed with the team and made the playoffs. I'm like, bro. Wow.
And then his coach made it even worse, bro. I'm like, fam, you kicked this man off the team for the entire season. You deserve to get scraped in this playoff game. Will was bugging, but suspend my man 5 games, boy. The entire season?
Well, coach was right because his team went to the playoffs anyway, so.
Yeah, trying to make a point. You said, wait, what? What'd you say? He made
it to the playoffs anyway.
He made the what?
He made
the
it
way
anyway.
Old Boy made it sound, and the reason why they coming to get this run with Zenith TV is because they about to get roasted.
Oh, they're about to be destroyed, for sure.
You wouldn't need no warm-up run if you still had Will on the squad,
no,
dumb boy.
Absolutely.
You could have proved your point and kept that man on the team. You tried to ruin this man's college career, is what you did. Now that we can confirm that they are juniors in high school, we know exactly where he is in his college recruitment. Junior year is very important. You cut this man from the team in his junior year. I'm not coming back to play for you. I play for Fatback TV team. That's where I play now. Okay? I'm not hooping. Matter of fact, I'm going to Beverly Hills so I can come back and roast y'all next year.
Yikes. Phil thinks that things are going to work out with his proposal, and he comes in to tell Viv. Viv got her own shit to worry about, namely the fact that she might not receive the executive director position anymore. Turns out Janice knew the right card to play because she's threatening to tell the media that the foundation is pitting 2 black women against each other, which is 100% what they're doing.
Hell yeah! I mean, first of all, that's exactly what they're doing because that's not how you give somebody a promotion. Hey, we're gonna fire Janice. Do you want her job?
Yeah.
Like, that is not how that goes.
Yep.
And then, I don't even think, I heard them say, hey, maybe don't discuss this with Janice. Like, at all. They had no fear of her going back and telling Janice that. And the fact that she found out before Vivian told her lets me know exactly how loose they've been about the fact that they were getting ready to fire her. So that's exactly what they're doing, is pitting 2 black women together, or against each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. Funny enough, Bel-Air notices that Viv and Phil's relationship is a deja vu of last season. Phil is trying to stay into work, and he's telling her, hey, don't worry about that. Just go do something else. All right, bro.
I mean, so this season, it felt a little bit different, though. It felt a little bit different because... not specifically for this thing with Viv and Phil in terms of him telling her, it's okay, we can find something else to do. But in terms of how everybody is treating Phil by the end of this episode, it becomes this theme of like, you gave me too much, or you do too much for me, you're too supportive. Or you don't push me like a thoroughbred horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, y'all blame a lot of your problems on me, and I don't really like that at all. Yeah, so
for sure. Will is looking at a photo of who I believe to be him on his dad's shoulder. He FaceTimes his mom and starts crying. Strange enough, Bel-Air makes a parallel between Doc and Lou, and Will thinks that he still needs Lou. His mom tells him to stop looking for all of the answers outside and start looking for the answers in himself.
Yeah, quit acting like you don't want to talk to your daddy again, man. Go find Marlon Wayans. Let's have a funny exchange this time.
We'll see. Coco Jones asks for Phil's luggage since she's going to Paris. Then Viv, Phil, and Coco get into a conversation that's supposed to be about Coco Jones and her situation with LaMarcus.
This argument was so trash. But like, not y'all having this argument in between her love affair. Like, get the fuck out of here. First of all, Phil, you want your daughter to date a NFL wide receiver? If he was already on one knee ready to propose, okay, yeah, go ahead and get that done. Like, get it done ASAP. Not getting flued out by an NFL wide receiver. Now, you're not a celebrity, Phil, but you are a wealthy man, so I know you can spot a floozy. What are you setting your daughter up to look like? So like, just the fact that they were even having that conversation, like, over top of her relationship issues that she was having was low-key trash. That shit was trash.
Was pretty trash.
Because he was basically arguing for himself. But like, LaMarcus, not you. You are her father. Yeah. He is a person.
Well, Viv was also arguing as if she was still arguing her side too, which was
maybe
Vice.
this is biased because you know where Hillary's going, but it felt like Viv's was a little bit more valid and
It
Phil's
was
was a little
actual
bit more for
advice
himself. Yeah.
because she was talking about don't compromise yourself and your and go into this relationship without looking at
Mhm.
your goals ultimately, which is good
Yep.
advice. So
hmm
that I think that's the other thing is that she was
And
actually
feel
giving.
like shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a little tricking it if you got it.
Oh man. Carlton is speaking, and Drew got this mad, arrogant look on his face, which is wild because you got absolutely destroyed at the bowling alley. Drew comes up and calls Carlton a genius for getting everyone to love him despite being a fraud. What a fucking hater.
Oh, but the cracks are coming.
That's
We
true.
seen it.
That's true.
First of all, how is nobody seeing? How is well somebody gonna see? But how did nobody see this man taking those snoots out the locker? The teacher was right up on him.
I literally asked that
He's
same exact question
literally
later on in
wiping
the
coke off
notes.
his nose while he's facing you.
I'm like, dog, you were in the middle of a school hallway. At the very least, there's cameras that can see you.
In the middle of the day. Junkie behavior.
Will comes in to talk to Phil about Doc. Phil says he's not going to help him, and if Will's eligibility is compromised because of it, that Phil will fight it. Will thinks he has something that he can help with, and then he brings some of the guys from Zenith Hype into his office.
I wasn't too keen on Phil not being willing to help after he heard the full story. Because, like, now, in my head, Phil's like, fuck them kids. You'll be okay. But I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Until he get face to face with them, and now it's different. No, it was fuck me 10 minutes ago, but
Right.
now, you know, that was a little weird. He could have just said yes from the jump.
Yeah.
It made him sound like he had to be coerced into doing it.
Right. So apparently Doc is Robin fucking Hood. Bro has been using all of the money he's been making from the operation to give back to the players in any way that he could, even before NIL.
Try to make Doc a little bit more redeemable if Phil's actually going to help him. So
Here's my thing. Why this hasn't shown itself at all throughout any of this is nuts.
Oh, when that dude when Will came into the locker room and told everybody about what Doc was doing, not one person said he bought me a sandwich. He put groceries in my house. He been giving me rides home, and nobody said. They said, "Hey, he getting me to the league, so I'm staying." And nobody said nothing about buying shit.
The shift from Doc being the absolute worst person on Earth to being arguably the best person on Earth is just nuts to see in episode 10. It's just a little quick.
Maybe that's their odd workaround to trying to open the door for a Lou redemption, right? Because even if a guy like Doc, who has a similar story, not just to Will, but to Will's father, if he can see that person be redeemed after losing faith in him like he did, clearly, why not Lou?
Viv and Janice discuss what Janice is doing, and Viv offers an alternative since the headlines Janice is offering will do more to hurt the black community, black women specifically, and instead Janice will do a press release saying she'll retire, handing the reins down to another black woman, which is a decent
that sounds
compromise.
pretty and all. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I spent because the same thing that Vivian is talking about blazing her path and showing herself and trying to ascend, Janice has already done it. She had to do all the shit that Vivian's trying to do now. And she only got to the spot that she's in by doing it. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I would fight the hell out of this. I'm going out on my terms. And I get the whole, you pitting black people against each other. Yeah, they absolutely are. I'm going out on my terms. And I'm not running from it because you're painting a narrative. No. No. When I decide to retire, I will retire. And it'll be on my terms. Or you can just you can go about your business because it's your company. You can fire me. But don't ask me to set myself out to pasture. Right? And be prepared for a blowback if you fire me. I'm going out Kathleen Kennedy style, baby. I'm popping out and I'm announcing 3 projects that I got no okays for, baby.
Hell no. Lorenzo shows up to negotiate, and lo and behold, Phil is there to ask some questions. Turns out Lorenzo was busted in a drug raid, but he's free, and 2 of his homeboys aren't. Lorenzo sounds more like Frank than Lorenzo. Phil says he will outbro as a snitch. Lorenzo leaves abruptly after a few prompt fuck yous, but G walks in with the blicky and tells bro to sit his $5 ass down before I make change. Phil has apparently offered Lorenzo double the original asking price to dip off.
Did it even have to get here, fam? Like that should have been your goal from jump. All right, let me put some pressure on him and get him to up my buyout price. Take that money, go do what you already want to do at another place with your money. Like, damn, you just determined to fuck the kids over, huh? Like, you have to be, we gotta twist your arm to make you not fuck over the kids. Yeah, I feel real great for the new players that you're gonna be doing under your establishment. Shit.
Yikes. Will is continuing his unselfish run by bringing in his old team to run a scrimmage with his new team. And while Bob Cousy and the boys are going to get absolutely washed by the AAU team with a trash name, at least they'll learn something from it.
How does getting your ass whooped on the outside court going to help you get your ass whooped, not get your ass whooped in a playoff game?
I mean, they said that they're going to learn some new moves and whatnot, so.
Hey, here's the new move. Run fast. That's the move. Run fast.
Yikes. Admiring his initiative, the old coach tells Will that if he wants a spot on the team next year, he'll have one.
You fucking bozo. You try to sabotage my career. I'm not coming back to Bel-Air. I'm going to Calabasas High and I'm going to drop 60 on you next season.
Yo, yikes. Apparently, G gets a job at Phil's new law firm despite coming from the streets and having no real law background to note. G also mentions that he's getting calls from an unknown number that doesn't answer when he picks up, so it's probably just a ghost from his past.
Damn.
I thought it was just his son, but then they made it seem a little more urgent
Well,
later on.
He seemed worried about it, and if it was Frederick, I felt like he would have recognized his number. Or at least saved it, in his phone. Erica
walks in flexing her shoulder work at the gym because I'll be damned if just shoulders alone, she doesn't look like fucking Shiva from Mortal Kombat. I was like, Jesus Christ, she been working out. She brings a bottle to celebrate with Phil. She goes to hug bro and then kisses him on the lips. And Phil has the most shook look on his face I've seen on TV in quite a while. He tells her that they really need to keep things professional while she tries to explain she got caught up in the moment. No, Phil. Shut it down, Phil. Red flag, Phil. What are you doing?
Okay, listen, this is how it's going to go now. Anytime you need to come in here and deal with anything in this building, you're going to talk to Jeffrey. Not me, Jeffrey. You can come, do your business. I'm going to be co-counsel on the Garrison account. Don't you ever come back around here. Come back around here. Because, see, what you want to do is make me lose my life and my kids in my house. That's what you want. Right? You want me to be a millionaire staying in a townhouse because I got to move out of my compound. So I ain't got that to do. We done already been there and did that, actually, right? You remember 20 years ago when you took me from Vivian? Yeah, that didn't play so well. And actually, I think you know that because you just talked to her about it, right? So let's just not do this shit again, like ever in life, ever. I don't care what moment you were caught up in. Get out of it quickly. Escape. Hit escape. You trying to get me caught up.
G comes in and lets bro know that there's still a 30-day return policy on this deal and that he may need to consider it considering he has lipstick on his lips. Phil think he can keep homegirl at bay, but G doesn't seem too keen on that idea.
The look right on Jeffrey's face while he's talking the whole, he like, nigga. He's just like you know good goddamn well. You know goddamn well.
Like, I don't understand his line of thinking, but we'll see in the next season, I guess.
Yeah, she kissed you. She like walked. And
he makes even more terrible decisions later on.
Mm-hmm.
Will and Uncle Phil have a touching moment when Will comes to thank him for everything he's done, and Phil tells Will that he has a bright future ahead of him. This touching moment is, however, ruined by Ashley's outfit. Ashley's outfit was fucking trash. It was awful. I'm like, okay.
She wanted to wear it. That was her expression.
I'm glad she gets some lines, but wardrobe, fix this now. Speaking of Ashley, they give her lines, but it's only to be a consolation prize to whoever will end up losing on the Founders Award. Luckily, though, we have yet to have a Simply Spiked ad, which I don't think we got one for the whole episode.
No, we did get one. We did get one. It's after this. It's after this. It's later on in the episode.
Okay. All right. You'll have to. I don't think I saw it, but yeah. All right.
We'll point it out.
Jeffrey confirms the calls are coming from a phone in East London. Again, I just thought they were calls from his son, but he seems a lot more urgent and
why would his son be calling and hanging up or not saying anything?
I thought maybe his son was just like, I want to talk to him, but now I don't know what to say, or some dumb shit. But he seems a lot more concerned about these calls, so I don't think at this point, I think I've realized that it's probably not that. Drew tells Lisa that she looks beautiful and then admits to leaking the video. Seems he did it more because of Will than Carlton, which doesn't make any sense. I was like, bro, you did all of that because of Will?
I thought for sure he was going to start hammering like the Connor thing again. Or I think he's on coke. You should go check his locker or something. Like something like that. But then for him to tie that back to him being messing with what did Carlton have to do with Lisa dating Will?
Absolutely.
And as I recall, I think you were dating Lisa at the time that the video came out. So how?
None of that made any sense to me at all. Will and Jazz do the same thing black men do when they see each other looking sharp. They give each other that, you look good, brother, or I'm trying to get like you.
I'm trying to get like you.
Will apologizes about everything from earlier this episode, and Jazz says they're cool, and then they do an awkward rendition of the OG handshake. I didn't like it. It's not like the old one. It was a little different, I feel like. I don't know. Anyway, Will then asks Jazz, what if Coco Jones is on a plane with LaMarcus, and Jazz freaks out. Apparently, Will withheld the info that they have a couple of hours before the plane leaves, and Jazz is now off to do his worst can't hardly wait impression. Doc shows up to the award ceremony, and Will thanks him for being the reason that he stayed in the race. Will then looks at Lisa, but then Jackie interrupts to say that everybody made up except for them, which is hilarious. Because, okay.
I know that they had to break them up because, obviously, Will and Lisa.
Sure.
But, like, the reason they broke up was absolutely stupid. It was dumb.
I agree.
If you are cool with Doc now, then what reason do you have to hold that shit over Jackie's head? Like, what valid reason would you have? Yeah, she lied to you a lot less than Doc did. Matter of fact, she literally just covered up Doc's lies. So, like, maybe it's that in combination to what he saw who she was with the drinking and stuff like that, too. Maybe that played a role.
Could be.
But if we boiling it down to the lie thing, which kind of seems like what it was, because you smashed before you broke up with her. So you knew she was a drunk. You smashed, and then you found out she lied to you, and you broke up with her. Yeah, so it is all about the lie, which is weird.
Yeah. Ashley and her new friend Olivia see each other at the ceremony. They compliment each other's outfits, and judging by the way Olivia is looking at Ashley, she wants to do more than just hang this summer.
Oh, boy. Ashley's got a new love interest.
That moved really quickly, but it's really just because of the lack of lines that Ashley has. Like, they could have developed that a little bit more. She hated her, I guess, the 2 scenes we've seen her before, and now all of a sudden they're, like, about to hang.
I like your suit. I like your pen. Rainbow pen.
Yikes. Lisa seems to be gathering herself, and Will tries to explain everything that's happening. Lisa tries to stick to what she said earlier about them being friends, and Will's part of the conversation sounds very similar to what he said last season. Funny because after all the bullshit, here they are back together again.
Okay. We're here. See, this is why I'm not worried about LaMarcus. Jazz is on the way.
Facts. Carlton goes to hit the slopes in an empty-ass school hallway, acting as if no one can pull up behind him at any point while he hits a bump.
Go to the bathroom, you junkie! In the middle of the school hallway. Another toot. Jesus!
So, of course, Ashley, after everything she just said at the house, sees him, and she not only knows that it's not Xanax, but she's about to tell somebody before Carlton yokes her up.
That's not Xanax. I'm not stupid. How do you know, Ashley? Do tell.
Ashley likes to party, bro.
I couldn't tell Zen if it's crushed up and it's already in powder. I couldn't tell Xanax from Coke. Why do you know, Ashley? You tell.
Whew.
That's where we should have got that conversation. Because if I was Carlton, I'd have been like, how do you know?
Oh, man.
And then we'd have both made it out that situation, and I wouldn't have had to yoke her up to get her not to say shit because she wouldn't have said shit.
Exactly. Jazz pulls up to Coco Jones' spot, and they both deliver probably the best scene I've seen all season. I thought so, at least. Where they're both being a little more vulnerable with each other. And
that's where the Simply Spike thing came up. I'm so proud of you, Hilary. You making moves. You closed the Simply Spike deal.
Oh, okay. He might have said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He just didn't look at the camera. See, he'd be missing his mark. He should have said, you just closed the Simply Spike deal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. But no, all in all, I think that was probably one of the best scenes that I've seen this season.
Yeah, they got to keep dragging it out. They got to make it look drama-filled, like Hilary actually going to mess with LaMarcus. Yes. I am calling a prediction now. At the beginning of next season, Hilary going to be 10 spaces back of LaMarcus at some red carpet forgotten. An afterthought.
Well, you don't have to wait until then. Apparently, Coco Jones has already had a little concert, and Jazz is out in the crowd, and he's like, "Where's LaMarcus now?"
Where LaMarcus at?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Short King.
Miss Basson announces that the awards winner is Carlton, the nigga who just yoked up his kid sister after bumping a line on camera in the hallway. While trying to give everyone his speech, he notices everyone's face in the crowd and apologizes and doesn't take the award. My only problem is that he says he can't take the award because he's a drug addict. Like, fam, on paper, if you did all this shit while being a drug addict, keep the award, fam. The problem is the lying, the fucking facade.
Yeah.
So, like, it's indirectly, obviously, the fact that he's a drug addict, but...
I mean, just kind of, I understand where you're going with this. Just kind of as a general stance, high schoolers doing cocaine is bad. So...
Agreed.
I just,
But if you're also still doing all this other shit...
No. If you're a functioning junkie, right, and you're able to get straight A's to the tune of damn near valedictorian, okay, maybe the drugs are helping.
And you play lacrosse.
At the same time, when you started said drugs at 14, it makes it a little bit more complicated, doesn't it? It's a little bit more complicated then. Especially when you're still actively using them, like you're high now. So
that was nuts too. The fact that he admitted, like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm fucked up right now."
Yeah, man. I feel like I would have taken that award and professed to my family at home.
Agreed.
Don't think I would have embarrassed my family like that.
Agreed.
Like, if it's weighing on my conscience that much, then it seems like the only people that would be able to absolve that would be my closest loved ones, not a room full of people who are sure to judge me because of this and have zero understanding of what I'm going through, with the exception of maybe Lisa. No one in that room is going to give Carlton the benefit of the doubt. Least much Professor Bassett, who was pretty much, I think, her ticket. I'm gonna get Carlton in, and then that's gonna get me some kind of promotion because I was the one who spearheaded getting the first Black Founders member through. Right, like that's kind of what it felt like. It felt very transactional for her.
Absolutely.
So I just don't know if offering up a pound of flesh to a room full of judgmental people who probably led you to do drugs in the first place, is the come to Jesus moment we needed. I felt like it would have been a little bit more personal. It would have felt a little bit more real if not only did he confess to his family, but also confess that he fucked up Ashley, that he was roughing up Ashley.
Agreed.
See, it's one thing to get up there and tell everybody you're a drug addict. It's something completely different to say I just yoked up my sister to try to hide it.
Phil and Viv went a moment alone with Carlton, and they are very upset that the DARE program didn't work with bro. Phil more so than Viv. Carlton states that he's been doing the shit for 2 to 3 years. Phil is going off on bro, but Carlton keeps rebuttaling with not being good enough. Then Phil seems to rage out for not being able to give the family enough, which also seemed like a shot at Viv too.
But it's valid though. Like I feel it, Like I guess we could all identify with the stresses of being a son, and then it's exacerbated by who he's a son of. Like, Philip Banks is a big guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to belittle that, but at the same strength, it's like when you talk about people struggling with addiction, or maybe this is just the perception of it. You start thinking of people who are not well off to do. People who have little to no resources or little to nothing to do with their time, and so that void is filled with drugs. But that's not. I guess that's not truly accurate, because there are addicts in Calabasas just like there are under the freeway. Yeah. So I don't know. It just blaming your father's want for you to be better or to be more proficient or to be stronger as an excuse, because I've never seen him push Carlton to the point of break.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Like, even when he was ultra competitive at the family reunion, he straight up replaced Carlton before he... Or no, not replaced him. He got LaMarcus on there. Mm-hmm. It's not like he was like, all right, Carlton, come on, do more. He wasn't doing like his brother and his nephew. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, well, I will mitigate whatever shortcomings my son may have and just boost it up with LaMarcus. He's never like forced Carlton into doing something against his will or against what he was ready for. He's never shown that. So to suggest that your father pushing you to be stronger warrants you doing drugs sounds a little bit crazy to me. And then at the same strength, you got this mom back here trying to preaching the same stuff like, oh, I don't want you to be so understanding. Make me do stuff. Kick me in the ass. Keep me going. Which, hey, some people need that kind of motivation.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's raises to a level of anger when your significant other is trying to lighten your burden. It's trying to lighten your load. I understand you're asking for me to be harder, but it has to be a natural inclination to take stress off of you and not provide more, right? At least that's what I think.
I would agree. Yep.
So it's coming off real crazy, because it's like everybody's having their little problems. Vivian's having her career issues. Carlton got his little drug issue going on. And it's like, oh, but it's my fault? Like, y'all gonna sit here in my face and tell me that all of this is because of me? Which is leading him to opening other doors that he should have remained closed.
Yikes. Before we get to that, so maybe I don't understand because I'm not a parent, but I feel like they felt like they were failures as parents as a whole.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
And I get that. I get that for Carlton, but I feel like you've got a daughter who's about to go to Paris with a NFL star receiver. You've got fucking Will, who's not your son, but he's about to be possibly drafted into the NBA. You've got Ashley, who seems like she's the mute lesbian Ava DuVernay on the rise. I mean, I feel like, yes, you have possibly failed with one student. You still have a lane for redemption at some level, but
so
failure as a whole.
All of the kids pre-drug issue, you line them all up, you look at their accolades, you look at their stats. Who looks the best?
Carlton.
Okay, and so for the last 3 years, right under your nose, your best, your star pupil, right, has been doing lines in the house, at school, wherever he can do it, for 3 years, and you weren't any the wiser. You didn't even stumble across it. Ashley had to find it out. You didn't even discover it. He had to tell you.
That's fair.
That will make you feel like a failure, because in some kind of way, and I guess you would try to even it out as much as you can, but if Carlton is he's that excellent, he's that exceptional, you would probably associate more time. Like, you would feel like you have invested a lot more in Carlton, or at least the time that you have invested has reaped so much more, right? And so for that to be the case, and he's doing that, you can only imagine what you don't know about the rest of your kids.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, Carlton was the quote-unquote good one.
Yeah.
Ashley has some crazy spinning habits, and she a young hot girl. Not Ashley, excuse me. Hilary, and then obviously Ashley is probably going to be handcuffing herself to a human chain at some point in the next 5 years. But Carlton looked like he was going to follow in his father's, probably still is, and become a defense attorney, a judge, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how they probably viewed that hierarchy, is like, nah, Carlton is our good one. Carlton is the good son. He's the one we don't have to worry about.
Sure. That's fair. I'll give you that. Coco ends up leaving with LaMarcus. Jeffrey gets a strange-looking envelope, and there's a picture of him and his son, which obviously was taken from somebody that he doesn't know. Carlton looks at the letter Ashley gave him while Phil walks into the room to hug him, and Carlton ugly cries once again. Vivian got the job while searching for rehab centers. Erica is low-key getting what she wants by grabbing dinner with Phil.
Phil, what's wrong with you? How does this make anything better? Like, I guess I can understand, he feels underappreciated, he's beat down, there's a lot of stuff going on. How does this help? How is this going to help you? This is only going to hurt you and make it worse. Why? Why? Don't do this, please.
Yeah, a little nuts.
Please don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't let next season open up with you and somebody else bad, fam. Please.
Other than that, of course, they ended this episode with Summertime because Will Smith classic.
Summertime.
Yikes.
Summertime.
Yikes. Any other thoughts on Bel-Air season 2 finale?
That's it for me, man. Give us your thoughts on the season 2 finale of Bel-Air. We apologize on the lateness. Sorry we didn't get to get you on the live, but we will be back in June for Secret Invasion. So make sure you tune into that. Give us your thoughts on the final episode in the prompt below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next week for some more review content.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our Bel-Air playlist if you haven't caught anything from season 1 or season 2. And like you said, make sure you subscribe. I'm sure we'll be talking about season 3 when it comes out.